Hello, hypothetical audience. I'm JJNW'S Ghost, and welcome to some hazy cosmic jive. Today, I'm going to be discussing Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. For those of you who are unaware, it has 2 seasons. Season 1 came out a few years ago. Season 2, I believe, came out this year, and I just finished watching the second season a few days ago. The basic story is that dragons come from another world, cross over to a modern human world, and start to adapt and become obsessed with human culture in various different ways. One of them gets really into, food, particularly sweets. One of them gets very into moe culture. Well, his roommate is into moe culture. He is just into video games. Like, he plays a lot of Dark Souls. And, there's another one that gets really into small children. It makes sense in context. It's not nearly as creepy as it sounds, although there are still some scenes that make me kind of uncomfortable. But overall, for the most part, it is a wholesome show. I guess it's kind of like there is like a trifecta with this show. On the one hand, it focuses a lot on comedy. Like with these superbly powerful beings, being heartbroken because, all the sweets ran out at her store, and what is she going to do about it? And the show also focuses on, the relationships between the characters, and a lot of the times try to portray them in a very wholesome, likable way. The third thing that the show focuses on is booba. There is lots and lots of booba in this show in both seasons. The main difference between Season 1 and Season 2 is Season 2 introduces a new character. This is Ilulu. I've heard it as both Ilulu and Iruru. The L rolls off my tongue better, so that's the pronunciation I will be going with. And she's kind of more the same, dragon, crosses over, gets really into human culture. Her in particular, she very much just likes children. So another character kind of obsessed with small children. But again, it is a very wholesome thing. She's like, I just like kids. I had relationships with... I'm really not phrasing this well anytime I'm talking about relationships and kids with this show. But you'll have to trust me on that. But she's like, I had some friendships with, kids about my age when I was younger. So I've always just, wanted to make children happy, make them smile however I can. Again, show is very wholesome in its relationships. So Season 2 has about the same quality as Season 1, but I noticed that I liked it a lot less. And now that I've thought about it, I think I can come up with not 1, not 3, but 2 reasons why. Reason number 1, the jokes feel about the same. Like Fafnir, he's still really into playing video games, and that's about it. The big difference is he has a Switch now, which, great, love the Switch, but that's it. Elma still really likes food. What did they do new with that? Nothing really, except she wears a shirt that just says eat on it, which, I'm not gonna lie, I love. If I could get like a figure of Elma wearing that shirt, I would get it 100%. If anyone knows where to find that, please leave a link in the comments. I would love that figure. Lucawa, she still has boobs. That's it. There's nothing really different. Are the jokes still funny? Yes. But I feel like because with Season 1, I really didn't know what to expect because you're getting used to these characters. Now that I know who they are, the jokes don't feel that funny. It's just kind of formulaic, I suppose. It was like when I was watching Key and Peele, which I would watch the show when it would come out, and I adore it. Fantastic. I love watching me some Key and Peele. But in some of the later seasons, I remember watching skits and thinking, I know where this skit is going to go at this point. Particularly because their sense of humor is a lot of the skits will kind of subvert what you're thinking. Like the Lil Homie skit, which is a favorite of mine, with the guy with the puppet, and the puppet is talking, and then it turned, all the stuff there. I started to realize what their sense of humor was, which allowed me to predict what the joke was going to be, and ultimately some of the skits became not as funny. And that's what the humor in Season 2 is for me. I get the joke of this character, and there's not a lot of variation. Even with Ilulu, like, they added a new character. You think that might, like, really shake up the dynamic. She might really have her own thing, but not really it's just, okay, she likes to hang out with kids, and that's, very wholesome. What are the jokes with her character? Booba. That's really it. She's very well endowed, and there's a person that she works with that likes her boobs, and she knows that this person likes her boobs. That's it. That's the joke. And is it funny? It can be, but you also have already seen it. I mean, you've already seen it with another character. It's like Lukoa, but I guess toned down a bit, which arguably also makes it less funny. I don't know. It's just the jokes didn't land as well for me because I've seen them before in this show already. What else do you have for me that's new? Which brings me to my second problem. The thing that's new, aside from Ilulu, is they start to focus a lot more on like the politics of the dragon world. It's either in the first episode or the second. When Ilulu first crosses over, she gets into a fight with Tohru. And, Miss Kobayashi is watching this. She's with Elma, and she's like, Elma, these two are fighting. I need you to help me. I need you to stop. Tohru is not fighting back to her maximum capacity because she's trying to just, protect the town. And if she goes all out, the town will be destroyed. You need to help her. And Elma's like, well, why? Because you guys are friends. Okay, first off, we're not. We're not. Second of all, they're both in the Chaos faction. I'm in the Harmony faction. If they fight each other and kill each other, that's overall a net gain. I'm not going to get involved. And then, she gets bribed with lots of sweets and it's like, okay, I have to get involved. That's my character. That's my joke. But it's something they actually start really getting into. These are the different factions. You have, the dragons went to war with the gods of their world. And I don't remember the reason they gave for that. I don't remember if they did. But it was the dragons went to war against the gods. And then at some point, some of the dragons decided, I don't really want to get involved in the war. This is dumb. We're just kind of gonna chill. And they became the, observer faction, I believe is what they're called, who are just neutral. And I think Lukoa is part of that. I think Fafnir's part. I don't remember if he's neutral or if he's chaos. And then at some point, the dragons splintered further, and some of them decided, what, we're going to team up with the gods. We are going to look after the humans. We're going to be worshipped by them. So they are considered the Harmony faction, and the ones that are still continuing the war are the Chaos faction. And they talk about how at some point Tohru left her faction. Not like she fully defected, but it was okay, I want to see the world. I want to know what it's like and kind of make my decision on my own. Do I want to keep fighting in the war? Do I want to help humanity? Do I want to be neutral? And during that time, she met Elma, who was part of the Harmony faction. She was being worshipped as a god by other humans. And the two of them, they didn't hit it off super well, but each one had their different view on the world, and were like, hey, let's travel together. Let's, go from place to place, see what we see, and see how that changes us, if at all. I wish I was watching that show. I really, really do. It sounded so interesting whenever they would flash back to it, whenever, they were talking about the dragon politics and the war going on. This sounds so interesting. And anytime the dragons get to do cool things, the animation becomes spectacular. For the most, it's not bad. It's just kind of fine for the most part, unless it's animating cool fight scenes or magic or boobs. That's when it really gets to show off. It looks really smooth, really good. So a full show of these two with very different ideologies traveling together, kind of bouncing their ideas off each other and why they are the way they are, and seeing their relationship ultimately crumble into the relationship we get in the show, would have been great. The whole time. Well, maybe not the whole time, because we don't start getting this episode maybe 4 or 5 or so. But once it happened, I realized they are teasing me with a really, really good show. And instead, I'm stuck with essentially the same jokes as the first season, which just aren't landing as hard anymore. I have been awakened to something better. And it's it's just not giving me what I need anymore. So I still finished it, of course. Overall, did I enjoy it? Yeah, I know it sounds like I didn't, but I like it for what it is. I just wish it could have been something more, because it started to like tease me that it could have been something more, and it gave me just enough. But man, like if there's a I think there's a spinoff that's just Elma, but not in her past. It's just Elma working at her job and eating food. But I like Elma, so I'd probably like it. But if there was a spinoff that was just the Tohru and Elma show, oh my gosh, that sounds 10 out of 10. I would love it. That's all I have for you guys today. That was this instance of Hazy Cosmic Jive. I ain't no DJ, but I'll be seeing you in the sky.